feels, if this is a roach, it's a bloody monster. No, it's not a roach, is it? It cannot be a roach. Gee, this is why I didn't want to use my match rod. Could be a tench, I suppose. Hi, it's Monday afternoon and the forecast for the rest of the week is pretty blustery. So I decided on the spur of the moment to come out for the afternoon. I've come over to the clay pit, which is fairly local to me, and I'm fishing the side ponds where I fished before. I had some maggots to use up from my trip to the mill stream last week, and so I brought them along. In fact, I did very well on corn here last time, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with maggots. I bought some corn as well and some bread flake. But yeah, it's just a few hours afternoon session because today is extremely calm. There's no wind, it's quite mild, so it's very pleasant conditions. And I may go out later in the week as well, but just a few hours here this afternoon, see what turns up. So let's get going. Well, one of the downsides of coming out on the spur of the moment is that the battery in my head cam wasn't charged. So I've got it plugged into the supplementary power pack, so I don't know how long that will last, so we'll have to see how we go. If it expires, I've got the camcorder. We can probably use that and compromise in that way. Anyway, I've got my 10-foot TF gear compact float rod, which I used here last time, and it proved adequate for the tench that I caught. I'm not sure I'll catch tench today, but this one handled them. As I say, we're on maggots today, and that may produce some perch perhaps, which I wouldn't have got on the sweet corn, but I really don't know, because it's quite late in the year now for fishing this pond. I haven't fished it this late before, so let's see what happens. I put some loose maggots in when I arrived to see if I could get their interest, so to speak. Because these could be very small roach or small rudd, which was the problem I had when I fished the main pit. I was getting lots and lots of very small rudd. That's not a small rudd, is it? In fact, that's quite a reasonable roach. So perhaps they're not small rudd and small roach, they're quite reasonable fish. The line. Yeah, that's a nice fish. That's not small at all. That's a very good start. Just go and get a disgorger, so I've got it ready if I need it. Well, I've just flicked the video on and you missed the bite, but it's another nice looking roach. clever, was it? Yeah. Nice fish. It's interesting today that so far it's all roach. Try and get closer into that bay if I can. Oh, this feels... if this is a roach, it's a bloody monster. No, it's not a roach, is it? It cannot be a roach. Gee, this is why I didn't want to use my match rod. Could be a tench, I suppose. Try to get in there. I think it's a tench. Oh. Yep, the battling tench. A nice tench as well. Oh, nearly missed it. Let you have a little rest, shall we? I'll get the unhooking mat out. Just in the corner of the mouth. Don't know what she weighs. A quick weigh, shall we? Shade under 3.6. The net weighs 0.9, so that's 2.7. So we're pushing on 2 3/4. Nice fish though, lovely condition. There she goes. Right, let's put you back in, shall we? A few more maggots out in a minute. That was the whole idea this afternoon, really. Use up my maggots. I've never used maggots here before, so I didn't know what to expect. actually that's not true. I have used maggots out on the main pit, and all I succeeded in getting were miniature rudd. Well, I've hooked into something else that's, as you can see, not a roach. Yeah, it's another tench. This one's not quite as lively, but blimey, it's big. There's a good chance of losing it down here in all this stuff. There's a lot of weeds down here. Yeah, that's definitely bigger than the last one. As I say, not as speedy, but quite powerful. So we're getting near netting time, I think. Cool. Yeah, that's a bigger fish, I think. I'll let you have a look where I show you. You've battled. Right. So just afraid a shade over 4 pounds. So that's 3.1. Certainly a slightly bigger fish than last time. There we go. Alright, let's put you back in. Well, we're back on the roach. That one nearly actually got me into the snags over there. Really battling. For a roach, it was really battling. I nearly lost it in those snags. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, okay, mate. Oh, it's trying to get away from me. Yeah, nice fish. Keep pulling on me though. I don't know if this is a sort of pattern here to pull on their captors, but gee. Yeah, it's been a while. I hadn't had a bite for a while, and then I got that one. So perhaps the tench have taken fright for the moment. I think this one might be a rudd. I was just talking to the bailiff, that's why I didn't switch the video on, missed you. You missed it being landed, but Anyway, there we go. The float's still drifting a bit, so I may I plumbed the depth and I'm definitely on the bottom, but perhaps I'll pull the float up an inch or two more, such that the bottom shot anchors it. I've gone about 2 inches deeper and just had a nice cast just off the reeds there. See if that stops it drifting. Just before that cast I missed the bite, shot away, but nothing there. Doesn't seem to be drifting quite as much or at all, I'm not sure. I think it is a bit still, but slowed it down a bit. Yeah, it's definitely not as near the reeds as when it started. Something's having a look, I think. Yeah, I don't think it's a... Interestingly, there were some bubbles came up around the float just before that bite. Right, let's stand up again. Okay, look at those bubbles in the middle there. Jeez. Yeah, the tench, I think, yeah. This one seems to be giving in a bit more gracefully. Yeah, it's another nice fish. Right, let's let you rest in there. No, you're supposed to be resting, not splashing around like that. That's because you came in too easy, didn't you? Okay. Right, let's get you unhooked. See what this one weighs, shall we? Well, 4.56, let's say 4.5, so that's 3.6, just over 3.5 pounds. So you're the best of the bunch so far. There we go. Okay, can we put you back in? Whoa, whoa, whoa. That last tench was on a bunch of red maggots. I'd been using white maggots up until then, although the the box of maggots is a mix, and I've been loose feeding mixed red and white. So plus the fact I'd increased the depth by a couple of inches to try and stop the float sort of drifting. So I'm not sure if either of those facts contributed to that tench, but it was a good fish. I must admit I'm quite amazed that I'm getting such good quality fish on maggots. My experience of maggots usually is that I end up catching all the little tiddlers. Yeah. Well, I'm into something else. It didn't behave like a tench now. I don't know what it is. I assume it is a tench, but it sort of almost came to the surface when I hooked it. It doesn't feel as heavy as previous ones. But yeah, it sort of broke surface when I struck into it. So I'm not sure what it is, to be honest. It's not fighting like a tench. I haven't seen it yet. Well, I've seen it, but only as a flash. It's having a go, whatever it is. Oh, it is a tench. Oh dear. Whew. And yeah, another one. And have a little rest in there. So, I think this is a bit smaller one than what we've had before. Just pop him on the scales and see. Well, 3.85, so it's just a shade under £3, so it's not that small. Strange, it didn't look as big. Obviously looks are deceiving. Yeah, that don't look £3, but I'm not sure. Well, I'm quite surprised really that I caught so many tench today. Bringing maggots, I thought I'd probably get rudd and I'd probably get... I expected to get a few perch. The roach were a bonus because they were nice sized roach. And certainly the tench were a bonus. Starting to blow up a bit, but going a bit deeper I think's anchoring the float a bit better. It's still shifting a bit, but it's not shifting as much as it did before. Yeah, I just got the video on in time now. I think you may have just seen that bite. The float started to flicker and And then it went, and again there were some bubbles near the float. Yeah. Well, that's not so clever, is it? Trying to get over there again. Can't let it over there. It's definitely not the place to be. It's getting down there all this weed again. I'm going to lose one down here before long, I think. Yeah, it's burying itself in all this stuff down here. Fortunately, it's quite soft weed growth. If it had been anything more rigid, I think I would have already lost a couple. This one looks quite meaty. Oh, I thought he was ready. I think he's nearly ready. Well, there we go. Yet another tench. Amazing. Literally just in the edge of the lip. Right. 4.2, so take off 0.9, it's 3.3. And yet another one. He's a lovely fish. He's a much darker colour, this one. Nice dark coloured tench. There we go. Super. Let's put you back. This is turning out to be quite a session, really. Amazing. As I say, last minute decision to come over here because the conditions were so good. Had some maggots to use up, and it's fairly local to me. It's probably only about a quarter of an hour in the car. Yeah, so it's more bubbles coming up just under my feet now. Yeah, I'll probably pack up about 6 this evening. It's 20 to 5, so we've got a bit longer. It's sort of coming up to 5:30. I think if nothing materialises in the next 10 minutes, I'm probably going to call it a day, because I haven't had a really positive bite for well over half an hour now. So whether I've overfed them or they've just decided to stop feeding. still, it's been a good day, or a good few hours really, less than 4 hours. Well, that's it for this afternoon. A really enjoyable few hours. Started off with some really quite nice roach, and then the tench fed, and I think I ended up with 5, which was amazing really. 1 tench today would have been a bonus. Only came over really to use up some maggots that I bought for last week's session. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. And as usual, thanks for watching, and thanks for the likes that you're still giving me, and also to those of you who subscribe to the channel. Yeah, great afternoon really. Marvellous really conditions for October. It's been really pleasant. It's getting a bit cold now, but you'd expect that really, wouldn't you? Anyway, so that's it, and as usual, it's bye for now, and cheers.